Yo, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video on the channel. Inside of today's video, going to be giving you guys the best tips, best brawlers, and whatever else you need to complete the singles challenge coming into the game literally in 5 hours time. So with this one, it's going to be duo showdown, and it will be first and second place. You will be getting the win. Of course, you need to get 11 wins to obviously complete the challenge. It will be quite hard. Duo showdown challenges are pretty hard in my opinion, probably harder than solo showdown for me anyway. So before we get into the guide, make sure you're using the create code in the shop. Mine would be greatly appreciated, and without further ado, let's jump into today's video. Alright guys, so heading into the first set, which is going to be a Rockwall Brawl. So for me, of course, with the first maps, you can obviously try and test things out and use your comfort brawlers. But for me, I just feel like Jean or Ruffs needs to be in every single combo. I've seen basically a lot of Jean everywhere right now. A lot of people using Edgar combined with Jean. I think that's going to be really strong. You're going to be seeing that a lot in duo showdown, in my opinion. You're going to see that aggressive brawler linked with like a Jean or a Ruff. So yeah, I've gone for like a Jean Surge as my #1 choice. I've always loved Surge on this map because Surge can be really good against the Edgars, the Stews, and also the throwers. You might see a lot of throwers on this map because around the center, it's just thrower heaven basically. Just going to see a lot of different choke points for the likes of Dynamite, Tick, Barley, Sprout to really do well in. So if you want to be risky, you can obviously use a thrower, but you've got to be really careful of those aggressive brawlers. So yeah, for me, I would go for that Surge. Those TPs is going to be insane. So other brawlers that you can pick, I think Ruffs, I think Tom obviously covered this as well in yesterday's video, but I definitely agree with him, and I would have said that if I released a video yesterday. Like Ruffs and Jean, it's just going to be insane. I just feel like this challenge is going to be like really defensive. Jean with the heals is just going to be paired well with anyone, because for the most part, you can just tank the incoming shots to obviously the other brawler other than Jean. Jean's going to be healing you up for 400 every second. It's just like the perfect combination in duo showdown. And then you've got like the opposite, well, not the opposite, you've got the other brawler in Ruffs. You're able to do that really passively, get like 40 HP a second. May not seem like a lot, but over time, if you're just camping, just chipping brawlers away, slowly trying to get your Ruff super, it's going to amount to a lot of HP, especially if you stay alive and keep that HP for a long time. So not only are you going to get upgrades to increase your HP, you're obviously going to get that star power as well. So yeah, it's going to be really strong as well. Other brawlers, I did choose like a Bell, maybe like a Stu, might be pretty decent. Again, you got to watch out for the counters. What you're going to be looking for the most in duo showdown, in my opinion, is trying to assess the meta and try and see what you can counter. That's why Surge is probably the #1 pick, because he counters just so many brawlers on this map. But Rockwall Brawl shouldn't be too hard really. The first rounds of duo showdown should be pretty simple. Again, just try and look for the pinch on the enemy teams, and then you should be pretty golden. So that's going to be Rockwall Brawl. Let's hop into the next set. All right, guys. So going into map #2, we have Skull Creek. So again, I feel like a combination with either a Jean and a Ruffs, or Jean and Ruffs, is just going to be absolutely insane. So I've gone with the Edgar because, again, this map kind of is, well, it is really strong for throwers, especially if you get in that middle area. Edgar's going to be amazing against throwers and just really good against, obviously, duos that aren't really paired up well. You can get that super really early. You can just jump on them and get a free kill for the most part. Edgar is just a beast in showdown. Everyone knows this. So obviously, you've got to watch out for those Edgar players. So yeah, I've gone for the Jean again. Jean's going to be amazing on this map. Once you get that one super, those throws are just going to get absolutely wrecked by your hook. You're going to be able to easily pull them towards you and get the kills. So other brawlers that I do recommend, the throwers again are going to be pretty strong. You got to probably watch out for those aggro brawlers. So probably would recommend either going like a Dynamite with a stun gadget, or like a Barley with a slow gadget if you're really scared against those tankier brawlers. Obviously got to bear that in mind. Other brawlers that you can really pick from, again, don't really recommend too much Surge. I would say is still probably Jean Surge, still going to be my #1 pick for this map. There's a lot of walls and a lot of potentials to try and TP onto the enemies and get that kill onto them. Of course, with Surge, you've got to be really careful because you might get stuck on that first level. Try and make sure you get off that first level immediately, because then you're just going to get pinched and bullied into a corner. So with this map, again, it obviously all revolves around like the center, but you've got to be careful of the enemy teams like pinching you around. So make sure you're always like following a team around. That's always my thing for duo showdown. I don't really play a lot of it, but obviously I'm still pretty decent at it. I like to force enemy teams like down into an uncomfortable position, try and force them in another engagement, and obviously keep an eye out for you not getting pinched as well. Duo showdown can really be toxic, especially if you're in a bad position. Like another team might just come over and just help that team out and then just finish you off, and you just end up getting like a 5th or 4th place. So you got to bear that in mind right here. So that's going to be Skull Creek right there. Let's hop into the next map. All right, guys, so now going on to set #3, we have Safety Center. So for me, this is a lot different than the other two maps. You can use a lot more longer range brawlers. So for me, I would like to pair like a Jean and well, or a Ruffs with like a longer range brawler, so like a Byron, like a Bell, like a Meg. You should be doing really decent. I quickly learned on this map as well, it's pretty easy to get pinched in, especially in one of the corners, so make sure you're kind of roaming around the middle area. Make sure you're not being in one of those corners, as you're just going to get pinched by the likes of Gene just chipping your way, like the likes of Bell with that long range. So yeah, for me, it's got to be one of those brawlers. You're going to be having a good time with them. Again, like the Gene part, well, the Gene healing is just going to be so crucial. The chipping at this on this map as well, a lot easier, because again, it's much more longer range. You're going to be able to just keep them low and keep them, or stop them from healing. So Ruffs as well is going to be absolutely insane if you pair it with like a longer range brawler that does a lot more damage. So again, like a Bell, if you give Bell that power up, she's going to be doing insane damage with obviously the power cube she's going to be picking up as well. So this one's going to be really scary for me, because you can see in the gameplay just straight away, there's just so much action going on. It's just so easy to pick a gunfight. So for me, I just try and stay away from as much kind of gunfight as possible, because you want to be getting those top 2 spots, and it's going to be really hard to try and get those wins on this map, in my opinion. Alright guys, so moving on to the 4th and final map, we have a Dark Passage. So for this one, I really do like this showdown map, because it's a lot more longer range. You get a lot more variety on this map. So for me, I put like a Piper in the comp, just because I'm a bit more confident on the Piper, especially with the gadget. And if you get into that right top bush with a Piper and like a Gene, it's going to be really hard for anyone to really push you. So for me, I would pair like a Gene with another long range brawler. So you've got likes of Bell again, you've got even likes of like Nanny, like Byron. You're going to be really good on this map. I would say Lola is probably like the best choice in duo showdown, by the way. If you've got Lola, I definitely recommend just playing her. She's pretty broken right now, but I didn't want to mention her too much, because I don't imagine a lot of people are going unlocked just yet. I'm not too sure. You'll have to let me know down in the comment section below like what level you're actually at in the Brawl Pass. But anyways, if you've got Lola, just definitely play her in every single composition. So again, you want to be playing the likes of Gene and Ruffs. Don't think you really need to say anymore. Those 2 brawlers are just made for duo showdown, so you want to be playing those 2 brawlers. So for me on this long range map, it's going to be kind of easy to stay out of trouble. It's all you're going to be really doing is just trying to scout the bushes, try and pick teams off at a distance, try and see what teams are really low. That's why I've gone for the Piper as well, because of that gadget. If someone's like really low, you can just gadget them, get the kill. Of course, she's going to be a little bit more vulnerable with the other brawlers, to try and give out super pretty early. So you can see in the gameplay as well that I'm always trying to keep my distance and try and stay away from the trouble, even though I'm not really getting many power cubes, or I'm really not like winning the gunfight. As long as I'm trying to stay alive for as long as possible, trying to get that top 2 spot, I should be pretty decent. So yeah, not really much more to speak about in terms of this map. It's really just going to depend on how you pick your gunfights. It's going to be really hard to kind of give you solid tips on duo showdown, in my opinion, because with showdown, it's literally like a different game every single time. You just don't know what scenario you're going to be coming up against. Of course, you just got to pick your fights carefully. You got to make sure that you're going into the right fight, and if you know you can survive it, then go into it. Otherwise, just play really passively. So that's going to be the last map right there. Alright guys, this is going to be it for today's video. Hope you enjoyed this one. Tried to give as many tips as possible. Kind of hard in duo showdown, because I feel like for the most part, the way you're going to be struggling is getting pinched. It's really hard to kind of come up with a set strategy, because every single game's different. Every single like brawler composition you're going to be facing off against, it's more likely going to be different. So again, just assess each situation differently. Just know your matchups, know which fights you can take, know which ones you can push the enemies into other enemies, and just try and get those second and first places as much as possible. But yeah, that's going to be it for today's video. Hope you enjoyed this one. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.